Welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to start coding the data controller so that we can delete the tasks that we accomplish, because that's the name of the game, right? So let's start by creating a function. And its name will be delete task. The parameter will be ID. Okay, so I want to delete the task with ID 2, but we can't just simply use the ID like task store ID to delete the tasks. So imagine that we have an array like this, 1, 2, 5, 6, 8. If I write 2 here, it will erase the ID 5. Because the ID 5, that index is 2, right? 0, 1, 2. They are not in order, but we can delete items. So we've got to take that into account. So here's a solution. To create an array with all of the ID numbers that we have, then find out what the index of our input ID is. To achieve this, we're going to use an array map for our method. Now, the map is very similar to the for each method, but the difference between map and the for each is that map returns a brand new array, and we're going to store that array. So let's write down the code. First, name the steps. Create array for IDs. Find ID's index. Delete task. OK. Task store.map. And I will write here a callback function. Its parameter will be current. Return current dot ID. Assign this to a variable and declare it here. Now let's create another variable called index and declare it. Index to be equal IDs dot index of ID. The IDs in HTML will be a string, but IDs in the task store will be integer. And because of that, we're going to use the parseInt method to change it to an integer. All right, so let's put that here. Now there's just one last step. The index here can be -1 in case that the ID here is not found in the array. So we only want to remove something if the index exists. So if the index is different from -1, and now in order to delete it, we're going to use another method of the array, and this one is called splice. This one is used to remove elements. Task store dot splice. The first argument is the position number, which we want to start deleting. This is the index. And then the second argument is the number of elements that we want to delete. We only want to delete one. Cool, so that's it. Now let's call this function in our app controller. Delete task, task ID, and now it's time to test. So let's reload the page. Test 1. Test 2. Test 3. Open the console, write task store, and you can see 3 of them in here. So let's delete just the second one. Task store again. And where's the second one? Yeah, it's gone, right? Cool. All right, so that's the end of this. See you in the next one.